One of these three ladies feeds her family of 6 on $35 a week. Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Amy Decision.
Number 2.
My name is Amy Decision.
Number 3.
My name is Amy Decision.
Only one of these people is the real Amy Decision and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Actor and raconteur Orson Bean. Star of Mama's Family, Vicki Lawrence Schultz. Sports commentator and author Jay Johnstone. And to tell the truth's very own Kitty Carlisle. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Lynn Swann.
Thank you. Oh. Thank you so much. Yes, yay, Lynn. It's my family that's out there. Glad you all are here. Let's get to the story presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Amy Decision, and this is her story. Please read along with me. I, Amy Decision, am a tightwad and proud of it. Before I married, my husband and I were spendthrifts. We couldn't save a nickel. We knew that the American dream of a big house, car, and kids were out of the question unless we changed our lifestyle. So I decided to think about ways to save money. Believe it or not, using my techniques, I can feed a family of 6 for $35 a week. We were able to save enough money to buy this farmhouse on 7 acres of land with a combined income of only $30,000 a year. I now publish my tips in the Tightwad Gazette. In it, you can learn how to pack a lunch for 42 cents, make lawn sprinklers from bleach jugs, and how to find cheap health insurance. The words cheapskate, penny pincher, and miser are music to my ears. Signed, Amy Decision. We'll find out more about this contented Mrs. Scrooge right after this. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. Now, panel, all three of these people claim to be Amy Decision, editor of Tightwad Gazette. Let's start the questioning with Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you. Well, I admire you. We've become a nation of borrowers and credit card owners, and I'm thrilled to meet somebody who knows how to have a lunch for 42 cents. Number 3, what do you put in it?
I make my own ham. I make my own bacon.
You make your own ham. How do you do that?
I breed animals. I slaughter them at the right time. I smoke the meat, and then I slice it.
Number 2, you have to live in the country then to do that. Do you live in a city?
No, I live in Leeds, Maine.
Number 1, what about you?
I live in Exeter, Maine.
Well, number 1, what would a lady like me who lives in a city pack for a 42-cent lunch?
You can pack pretty much the same things. Most people pack very expensive name-brand items. Vegetables like celery, carrot sticks, oatmeal cookies you make at home are very cheap.
I see. And number 2, what do you put in
Kitty,
it?
thank you.
Oh.
Jay.
Number 2, what kind of food can you buy for $35 a week?
Oatmeal for breakfast quite often. Meat that's under $1 a pound.
Number 3, do you help your friends now that you've acquired this wealth out in the country?
People listen to my advice.
Number 1, how do your kids feel about all this when all the other kids go to school with cookies and all these different fancy things?
Well, sometimes they trade their lunches, but I don't really like them to.
Number 2,
Thank you, Jay. $35. I mean, you probably spend that in 2 seconds, right?
I'm not like you, Lynn.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Jock fight, jock fight. That's the opposite of a cat fight, you know.
No.
Maybe 3 or 4 seconds.
It would never be a jock fight. You know why? I'm the host. Be quiet. Your turn.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going to say you'd kick the hell out of him. No fight.
No, he carries a bat.
Back to the ranch. Number 3, where is your farmhouse?
It's in Piney Point, Maryland.
And how long have you been married? Number 2.
8 years.
And number one, did you have a job before you were married?
Oh, yes. I was a secretary.
And you don't work now?
I work at home quite a bit. I publish my own paper.
But, oh, okay. Oh, yes. Well, now let's find out about this little Gazette deal. Number two, is that, it's a newspaper?
It's a newsletter.
That comes out how often?
Every month.
And number three, what's in the newsletter?
Money savings tips.
What's one of your best tips for this month? Oh, stop.
You have to
Stop
wait.
with that little bell.
Orson.
Number three, what's the worst thing you ever had to slaughter? Which animal put up the worst fight? In your own words.
A bull.
Well, she said it. I didn't.
Did you hear that? She said a bull.
A bull. My goodness, I can just picture.
I needed the leather.
Oh, the leather. Oh, my God. Number one, things are tough all over. I heard Mrs. Donald Trump is using caviar helper, so I'm sure that everyone can benefit. Number one, do you eat a lot of macaroni and cheese?
Not cheese, no. I eat a lot of pasta. You don't need to eat that much meat. People waste a lot of money eating meat.
Don't look at me. I haven't gone near a hamburger in minutes.
Thank you, Orson. The time is up, panel. That means you have to cast your ballots for either number one, number two, or number three. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote, and there's a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is full completely, our team of challengers will receive $3,000. So, Kitty, we'll begin with you at the voting.
Well, I had to vote for, number one, I wasn't crazy about her lunch. And number two, I don't believe any woman looking like that ever slaughtered a bull. So I voted for number two.
Okay, well, you don't believe number three slaughtered the bull.
That's right.
Okay. Jay.
I found it very hard for number three to slaughter the bull, so I voted for number one.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was believable. She needed the leather. Vicki. I know I don't carry a vote. Go ahead.
Well, see, now, I was going with number three, but I don't want to be... Where's this guy to slaughter the bull? What's he off doing every day? I think that's a man's job, for crying out loud. I voted for number two. I want to see this husband. Wimp.
Orson.
Yeah, I voted. I blabbed so much I didn't get to ask number two a question, but I believe that she knows how to live beneath her income, and I wish she would run for Congress and teach them how to do it.
There's a group, right? Well, the votes are all in. Number one, you have a single vote. Number two, you have three. And number three, I believe you would slaughter the bull, but you didn't get a vote. Now it's time to find out who the real penny pincher is. With a real Amy decision, please stand up. Yeah. Panel is good. Amy, we'll get right back to you in a moment. Let's meet your imposters. Number one, your name and what do you do?
My name is Christine Martin. I'm a masseuse.
Okay. Now, number three, your name and what do you do?
My name is Anna Monica Vissier, and I'm a tankerman.
You're a tankerman. Now, would you tell them what a tankerman does?
We load and discharge fuel oils.
Now, there's a woman who could slaughter a bull. Okay? She's very strong. There was one incorrect vote, so your team will receive the $1,000 guarantee. Now, Amy, I've got to ask you, in one of your tightwad gazettes here, it shows a refrigerator and a variety of items in it. What does your refrigerator normally have in it?
Well, lots of leftovers.
Is there anything that you don't get rid of? That you would just get rid of after you've only used a little bit of it? Do you save everything?
Pretty much, yeah. We mostly freeze the leftovers, though.
Yeah. How much do you make on the tightwad gazette?
Per issue?
Yeah.
Oh, about 65 cents per issue.
And how many issues do you have out?
We have the 7th one will be coming out next month.
Terrific. Well, our congratulations to you for being such a wonderful penny pincher, and thank all of you for playing here on To Tell the Truth. We'll be back with the youngest politician in the world right after this. We are back on To Tell the Truth. Let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Teddy Andrews.
Number two.
My name is Teddy Andrews.
Number three.
My name is Teddy Andrews.
And panel, it's up to you to locate the real Teddy Andrews, and here's his story. Read along with me. I, Teddy Andrews, am a normal, all-American kid who just happens to be a natural-born politician. While other kids collect baseball cards, I plan vote-getting strategies. After the first grade, I dropped out of elementary school to pursue a career in politics. Within months, I was appointed youth commissioner of Berkeley and inaugurated my pet project, the Learning Mobile, a van that delivers donated school supplies to needy children. I've led housing marches on Washington, and after winning the International Giraffe Award, I went on a peace mission to the Soviet Union. As youth coordinator for the California Democratic Party, my latest cause is product safety, especially dangerous toys. And what does life hold when you've done it all before puberty? Of course, I want to become President of the United States. Signed, Teddy Andrews. Well, Orson, we're going to start with you. You could be looking at one of the next presidents of the U.S., huh?
Well, I was just thinking these guys are too young to be president, but then there's Dan Quayle. Number one... crowd is turning nasty. Number one, now, politicians are admired by the American public somewhere below lawyers and used car salesmen. What makes you want to become a politician?
Well, so I can help the needy and homeless children.
Help the needy and the homeless. All right. Number three, can you really drop out of school after the first grade? Don't the cops come looking for your parents?
No, not really. You have to go through a certain system.
A system? Well, number two, tell me about the system you have to go through. How do you manage it? Do you get tutored privately, or are you in another school?
I get tutored privately, and the way you get through is you've got to sign a contract, and you've also got to pass an IQ test.
Okay, well, number one,
Orson, thank you. Vicki.
Number two, what is your IQ?
I'm not quite sure.
They don't tell you.
Your parents don't want you to know. Number one, what is your favorite thing to study?
Science.
And number three, where do you live?
I live in Berkeley.
And when you go out and about on these missions, who goes with you?
It's a variety of different people, but usually my mother is there with me.
Number two, do you have siblings?
What's that mean?
You see, you learned that in the second grade. See, we have a problem here already.
A sibling is a brother or sister. But time is up, so we move on. Jay.
Number two, you said you plan on getting your education. You want to get a graduation certificate from college and go on from there?
Actually, I want to go to college and then start off when I get out.
Number three, do you have any aspirations of getting into sports, or do you want to be in politics?
I want to be in politics.
Number one, what kind of dangerous toys are there on the market?
Oh, one is lawn darts.
Number two, what is the...
Thank you. Kitty.
Gosh, number three, what do you want to be after you're president of the United States?
I might retire. I probably want to retire.
I knew he had it worked out. I knew it. Number one, what grade are you in if you were in school now?
Well, I wouldn't be in school. I would be taking tutoring.
And number three, how old are you?
Kitty, thank you. Thank you very much. Panel, the time is up. You have a tough task here. You have to vote for either number one, number two, or number three. We're voting for a first-grade dropout who wants to be president of the United States.
He's going to be.
Okay. Panel. Orson, let's start with you.
Well, I think whichever one it is going to be president. And I hope you tape this show and remember us and we get an invitation to the White House. I voted for number three. I'd vote for him for anything.
Okay. Vicki.
They're all just so cute sitting there so seriously, aren't they? But I thought number one and number three were acting. I don't know. I voted for number two.
Jay?
I voted for number three because anybody that wants to retire after he's president's got the right idea.
Kitty.
I had to vote for number three for that very reason. He's got his life so well planned, and I agree with you. I hope he invites me to dinner at the White House when he gets there.
I'd vote for him just for the smile. The votes are all in. Number one, you didn't get a vote. Number two, you have a single vote. And number three, you have 3 votes. Now it's time to find out who the real future president is. Will the real Teddy Andrews please stand up? Vicki, you know your politicians. We'll get right back to you, Teddy. Let's find out about your imposters. Number one, what's your name? How old are you? Where do you go to school? Are you in school?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Thomas Matson, and I am 8 years old, and I go to the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary School in Pasadena.
Boy, that's a mouthful. And number three, if you're not thinking of a political career, you should, because you got everyone's vote here. Your name?
My name is Michael Gallagher, and I'm a 5th grader at Sycamore School in Claremont.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, that's 3 incorrect votes, which means your team will receive $1,500. That is terrific. Now, Teddy, I have to ask you this. If you had a chance... How casual. No, we want to see you. We can't see you if you slouch down too much. If you had a chance to speak to all the kids in America, what would you tell them?
Well, I think children should get involved in their future, otherwise there'll be nothing left for them. I don't want to tell my grandchildren fairy tales, such as there were once birds in the trees, dolphins in the seas. You could actually breathe air without having to wear a gas mask, and you could drink water without being contaminated.
So you'd give them that message. That's terrific.
Well, you didn't get me right.
Well, Teddy, a lot of those kids might be in school right now, but I hope their parents got the message. And we'd like to thank all of you for being here today on To Tell the Truth. We'll be back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience right after this. It's now time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. So, Burton, who do you have for us today?
Well, Lynn, I'd like you to meet Mr. Tom Ayres from West Covina, California.
Tom, welcome.
How you doing?
You are going to meet a woman, Tom, who has 2 stories in this chance of yours to play one-on-one. So please welcome Ann Christine Masulo. Ann, welcome. Now, Tom, Ann has 2 stories, only one of which is the truth. And if you can pick out that true story, you'll win $500. So listen carefully. Ann, what's your first story?
As an alternative to fur coats, I designed coats made of turkey feathers.
Now, that may or may not be the truth. So listen to the second story.
I am a makeup artist. I apply and repair the makeup on figures in the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum.
Panel, to help Tom win this $500, you'll have 1 question on each story. We'll start with Kitty, and the story about the feathers.
Can you dye turkey feathers different colors?
Yes, you can. It's from white turkeys, so, and all different colors.
Oh.
How many turkey feathers would it take to make a coat?
A small percentage of each turkey is selected for the coat.
Vicki.
What does a turkey coat cost?
They range anywhere between $495 to $1,500, depending on the retail markup.
Orson.
Probably cheaper at this time of year, right after Thanksgiving. Pick them up. Turkey lady number 4. I'm sorry.
Ann is her name.
Yeah, Ann. Ann, now, tell me about yourself. What part of the turkey do the tenderest feathers come from, or the best, in your own words, Ann?
The finest feathers come from the stomach of the turkey.
The stomach of the turkey down near the, yes.
All right, Tom, you heard the first story. I don't know what you learned, but now let's go for the second story, makeup. Kitty.
What was the last human being, person, who was made into wax in Madame Tussauds Museum?
Short-lived Michael Dukakis.
Thank you.
Jay.
What's the most popular figure you've made up in the museum?
For the people to see, it certainly is the Queen Mum, but the most popular figure that I personally have made up is Mata Hari.
Vicki.
Where did you study makeup? Who taught you to do this?
I studied in Paris and then at the Chicago Art Institute for a while.
So Michael Dukakis came and went quickly, as in life. Well, here I go. What, is this similar to working in a funeral parlor? I mean, do they...
No, the makeup is a powder base, and then it's mixed with a paraffin derivative and applied to each of the statues.
All right, Tom, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Ann designed the coats from turkey feathers, or is she the makeup artist?
I believe she's a makeup artist. She has the look of somebody to apply the makeup.
Well, Ann, what is your true story?
To tell the truth, I design feather coats.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm sorry, Tom. You don't win the money, but we do have a lovely gift for you. But Ann, for stumping him, you get $1,000. That is a lovely, lovely coat. How many feathers is in a short coat like that?
It's a small percentage, and they are wound into strips and then hand applied to the coats.
That is terrific. Thank you very much for being here
Thank
on
you
To
so
Tell
much.
the Truth. We'll be back with some turkey feather coats right after this. I'm surrounded by gorgeous turkey feathers. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. So long.
Behold the day with GSN's daily affirmations.
Let the games begin.
I will take risks. I will accept challenge.
Please do this for me.
I am a winner. See your affirmations in action weekdays from 9 to 3. Only on GSN.
GSN. The network for games.